bro, really people with ADHD, they fuck with my shit heavy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just abstract. It's different. Like, so when people be trying to do different shit, like, they don't really be thinking about it. Man, really, man, like, shit, bro. When I do my high pitch shit, like, man, if you singing that shit in high pitch, bro, you gonna be turned, bro. Like, it's a lot of energy in it. So, like, it's abstract, but it's like, I'm trying to explain it. Like it's energy behind it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, I don't even know how to explain
It's
it.
interesting to see who it resonates with because the dude that I do the news with, this dude AD, who's probably like the most gangster guy who does on camera stuff here or whatever. He, like, when I said I was interviewing you, he's like, I listened to his new video like 100 times this weekend. Like, he's totally sincere. Like, he's like, yo, that new song is ridiculous. And he's just straight up like, we're playing it in here. He's singing along to it. It's like, but I noticed that happening with me too, is that the more I listen to it, the more my brain gets used to it and it doesn't seem as shocking and I can kind of just appreciate the melodies and whatnot.
Yeah. After you know what I'm saying, really, man, like my music is like a math problem. Like, once you solve the math problem, it's just like satisfying to listen to and shit. So it's like, once you got that acquired taste and shit, like, it's just up. Like, it's just up.
It's interesting though, like, who do you think the main fan base is at this point, and does it feel odd that maybe a lot of the fans are like, I don't know, sort of like indie, like hipster type people, and maybe not necessarily like the core hip hop audience? So I would assume like a lot of those sort of people like still might not understand or might not even heard it necessarily. That sometimes it's like the internet audience that's really being receptive to it.
Yeah, so like, really, when people listen to my shit, like, when people listen to it, the first thing they're gonna say is like, what the fuck? They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? And then it just make them like want to dig into my shit more because they just confused. They're like, what the fuck is this? Why is this having so much attention on it? So it start off as like, what the fuck? You know, it go both ways though. Somebody out there finna be like, man, nah, that's not it. That shit just not it. Or somebody gonna be like, man, this shit different, and he really saying some shit because they done listened to it a couple times. They're like, damn, okay. So now they seeing where I'm coming from and shit. After the first listen, you like, what the fuck? You like, damn. People gonna listen to it again though. They gonna be like, cause they got to. You gotta listen to it. You gotta be like my shit is like some shit where cause my songs be short too. So my songs be like some shit. You know what I'm saying? My delivery different, and then like they probably not gonna understand what I'm saying. So that make them want to listen to it again because they really trying to listen now. They're like, damn. So shit. Now that they really trying to listen, in, they gonna pick up some shit that I'm really saying.
Right.
And then they gonna be like, damn, this nigga really saying some shit.
It's interesting to me because you seem like you care about the meaning and what you're actually saying a lot, but then you're sort of purposefully like delivering the lyrics in a way that it's hard for people to pick up on, to the point where you even put the lyrics on the screen for a bunch of the videos and stuff. But is that part of the puzzle in a sense, that you want people to have to like go look up the lyrics or listen to it over and over to figure out exactly what you're saying? It reminds me of metal, because I grew up listening to metal where a lot of times the vocals are like you can't tell what they're saying at all, but like you kind of have, it's a different level of learning curve when you have to go look the shit up. Yeah,
and then like you see it, and then some people be shocked. Like that's another thing too. So it's a factor what come with trying to figure my shit out. Niggas be shocked. Niggas be like, damn, I can't even believe he said this. So they're like, damn, he said this for real. And then they start to listening. They're like, damn, he really said this shit. So like, it is like a puzzle. Like everything come together. Like niggas like figuring my shit out. So once niggas figure my shit out, they hook. That's what it is. Like addictive. Like if you got that acquired taste and shit. If you got that acquired taste, like, some shit is gonna go and some shit just not. But, like, my shit, and then everybody not gonna fuck with my shit, too, though. Like, everybody not gonna fuck with it. Some people, it's not for them.
You can't make music like that and expect everybody to fall in line with it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect for everybody to fuck with my shit. So, you know, I just know what I gotta do, and then the people either gonna pick it up or they not.
Well, it's interesting because we're kind of like in this day and age, like with Spotify and playlisting and everything, it feels like people are just making music that's sort of like ticks all the right boxes. Like the sound is very minimal. It's like very like, you know, everybody's rapping over the same sort of trap beats. Everybody's sort of, people don't even seem like ashamed about rapping the most generic shit ever these days a lot of times.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a weird state to be in, where everybody is basing their judgment of what good music is on what sells, what you can play in the club, what is accessible by a lot of fucking people. So that's why it really kind of stands out to people when somebody like you comes along who's kind of blatantly making music that you're like, you know, it's just blatantly not for the masses. It's like you might not be able to understand this, and it doesn't matter. Like if you want to figure it out, you're gonna have to decode it, and like that level of challenge is kind of uncommon these days.
Yeah, no, that's true. But man, my shit still be playing in clubs, like outside of shit. Like, yeah, niggas hit.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of music that's made like specifically 100% to just fall into those boxes, you know, like shit has gotten very formulaic in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And even in rap, a lot of times, like you'll see like a whole generation of rappers coming from one area or whatever that has the same fucking flow, and they stick with it, and you know, like, and sometimes that shit passes by and you don't even really like remember. You just sort of forget, like, oh, remember when everybody was doing the
Pablo Juan flow?
Yeah, that's like entire states where every rapper for a couple years was just fucking with that flow, and it's like, bro, you're not gonna ever stand out if you keep doing the same shit everybody else is doing.
Thanks. That's another thing too. Like I looked at it, I was like, man, everybody doing the same shit. All this shit sound the same. I gotta do some shit that's gonna put me apart. But then I was on some shit. I was like, I gotta do some shit that's gonna put me apart. You know, niggas gonna look at it weird, but like I don't look at this shit I be doing weird. Like my delivery is just different. So niggas, like that's literally all it is. My delivery is different. Like, but my content, like the shit I be saying, the shit that niggas be related, like niggas could relate to, and some niggas done been through. So it's like there's substance behind the shit I'm saying.
Definitely. So when you get in the studio, what's your creative process like, or what's your mentality like going into that? Like, are you mostly like focused on manipulating this sound that you've been playing with for the past few months or whatever, or does your brain go in a lot of different directions in terms of what kind of sound you might be willing to put on a track?
Man, really, this what I be doing. So shit, I just be at the crib smoking. I be listening like Fleetwood Mac, Elton John, you know, like Mariah Carey and shit. Like that's just what I be listening to, and then it just be getting like stuck in my head and shit, and then I just be like putting shit together. Like if I got some shit I've been thinking about, like I just mix it up. So like, okay, I've been listening to all this shit, so that's my delivery. I'm listening to this shit. So I'm thinking about how I'm finna deliver this shit. Now I'm just putting my thoughts of what's really going on in my day or the week, whatever's going on in the week, and then I just put it together. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I get the influence from like listening to like old school shit, and then I just put it on with what's really going on in the world, like either what's going on in the world or what I've been going through that week, that day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just putting it together.
So you write, or do you just sort of let it brew around in your head before you go in the studio?
Yeah, like I just be going with. I don't write though. Like I ain't never wrote, cause I tried writing when I first rap, but like when you write, it's like I don't know. It's like you like your flow is, I don't know, it's not coming out organically. It's like you forcing it, like, but it's different. For me, it was just more different. Like I'm writing some shit, I'm like, okay, and I'm thinking about it in my head, and then I'm trying to put it on the beat. It's not really sounding right, so it's not coming out together. So I was just like, shit, okay, like I'm gonna just keep playing the beat. I'm gonna think of some shit. Like, I'm gonna think of, okay, now I got the first 2 bars. That's what I'm finna say. Then I just go off the first 2 bars, and then like I just be punching in the shit.
Respect. Yeah, that's interesting. Just in terms of how you sort of get to the end result, you know? Because and so, how much frequency are you dealing with in the studio? Like, are you recording like 5 songs in a night, or are you like working to really make that one song that you really believe in?
Yeah, it be. I probably made like 2-3 songs a day. Like when I do record, it's some shit. Like I'm focused and shit. Like I don't just go in the studio and then just be like, oh, I'm finna just make anything. Like, yeah, it just all come together. Like I don't be trying to force shit.
Definitely. In terms of your visuals and shit, how important is that to you? Is that a big part? Like, obviously, you kind of came up on YouTube a lot.
Yeah, like
how much does that matter to you?
Yeah, I mean, it mattered a lot because like that's my vision and shit. Like, I want people to see my vision and shit. So, like, you know, all my videos directed like by me, except for one video. It's yoga. Yoga's not directed by me, but all my videos directed by me. So it's like an image I'm trying to push, like a narrative I'm trying to push. It's like you know, I don't like Ludacris, like when he was dropping his videos, like Ludacris, the baby, like they got like kind of humor in their videos and shit, and like kind of like a humorous storyline and shit.
Right.
Yeah, like that's how I look at it. I make music, man. Really, like when I make music, I don't think about making music for old ass niggas and shit. Like, I think about making music for children and shit. So like, that's what I'm targeting.
That's interesting though. Like, have you seen like 8-year-old kids that were fucking losing their minds over your shit?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's tight.
It'd be crazy. Like, yeah, it's definitely for the children though. But you know, the children is like, man, children are like the gatekeepers in this shit.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
And it's cool to give them something that they can get excited about that isn't like a lot of times I've seen like my friends' kids who are, you know, 8 years old, whatever. I remember when I did a Rico Reckless interview like a few years ago, and his kid was just straight watching TK, Lil Pump, 6ix9ine. It's like, you kind of worry. Like, is this kid just getting like violence and drug abuse fed to him?
Yeah.
It's kind of positive to think that they gravitate towards your shit just based off the energy and shit.
Yeah. Like, young kids, yeah. Like, young kids gonna fuck with my shit.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what's up.
It be the old heads that be, they just stuck in the past.